Well, good evening, everyone. The people in the back tell me it's that time, so we'll get started. And they do say that the third time is the charm. And this is our third Bel Aire State of the City address. And I want to welcome each and every single one of you, and thank you so much for being here tonight. 2016 is only 12 days old. So tonight we're going to take a very brief look at what we accomplished in 2015, but more importantly, look to what more we can do in 2016. For the past 7 years, I've been blessed to be part of this governing body in one shape or form. And every single year, the focus has always been on our land debt, getting out of and paying off this debt. We've made tremendous strides in that effort. 6 years ago, we had a large group that came out because this city was at a crossroads, and it wasn't pretty, and it sure as heck wasn't fun. Some of you in this room remember those days. We were faced with some horrendously tough decisions that led us to holding public forums and seeking in-depth input from the community. At that time, serious thought was being given to significantly reducing the police department and closing the recreation center, among many other items. The community, however, made it very clear that the police and recreation were priorities. Now, debt is being paid down, revenues are up, giving us the opportunity for some much-needed improvements. In just a few minutes immediately following this talk, and I promise it'll be shorter this year, we will hold a public forum once again. This time, it isn't to decide what essential services to cut, but rather the exact opposite. We want to again seek public input so we as a governing body have a better idea of how you want us to shape this year. It's been a long time since we've done this, and tonight is just phase one. We're working with Wichita State University to help us through this process with a survey to all citizens that will follow. I like the idea of forums for this purpose a lot more. But enough about the past and the future for now. I want to talk about the present. And with that, I want to start with everyone's favorite topic, our budget. The good news is that we had $1.5 million in industrial land sales in 2015. This allowed for two payments totaling $1.725 million going directly towards debt principals. Never in the history of our city have we been able to make such a dent at one time, because that $1.725 million is above and beyond budgeted payments. I still get excited when I send a few extra dollars to my car note. Our total city general fund budget in 2015 was approximately $6.2 million. However, 54% of that, approximately $3.3 million, goes directly towards this land debt payment, special assessments, etc. In total, we still owe about 16.7 on about 1,400 acres. So that leaves just 46% of what the city takes in to run and operate our city. That 46% covers operating and running the many departments and operations like the senior center, 6 parks, administration, code enforcement, planning and zoning, community development, marketing, police, the pool, maintenance, recreation, and a whole lot more. Bel Aire employs 31 full-time and 6 part-time employees who carry out the work of these areas. We are lucky to have such a great and dedicated staff because that number of employees is about half of what other cities our size employs. In 2015, all land sales were tied to industrial and residential. We sold 170 acres last year, and we set a record for housing starts with 106 for a total value of $22.8 million. This is all great news. Actually, it's absolutely fantastic news. In fact, we are working hard to continue this trend. But there's one thing missing, and I want to change that in 2016. That's commercial land sales. This year, we can really look toward building our future. Bel Aire celebrated its 35th birthday just a couple of months ago. What are the next 5, the next 10, the next 15, or 20 years going to look like? Again, that is one of the reasons why I'm so excited to see a packed room and see all of you here tonight, in hopes that you'll stick around for the planning session. How are we going to define what those commercial areas will look like? It is imperative that we attract the correct, exciting commercial development that can act as a magnet. Bringing in commercial businesses like attractions, unique opportunities, dining options, and or retail will take the tax burden of our debt payments solely off of our homeowners. It will birth additional growth in respects to industrial and residential and can add to the attractiveness of living in our great city. The tide is turning, and it's time that we embrace the next phase of our city. I'm very proud of all of the work that we've accomplished to get to where we are today. I'm going to be aggressive in trying to begin the long and tedious task of bringing in commercial businesses that will benefit our city. I challenge council to work with me in thinking outside the box to make this dream a reality. Marlon Penner, he's here tonight, with John T. Arnold, continues to work with us and has done a great job of introducing our Commerce Park and development opportunities to a variety of different interests. Marlon recommended bringing in a firm to assist us with this development plan, and staff is working on a proposal. This is the same process we use for the Sunflower Commerce Park. I think he's done a pretty good job with that. So, Marlon, we thank you. But back to our present budget just for a minute. I want to tell you a couple other things that have happened. Your staff created a prudent, feasible 5-year plan to replace aging and in some cases non-working equipment that our office staff, our police, parks and recreation, and public works and other departments all rely on to perform their job duties, as well as infrastructure maintenance and repairs. This money was budgeted specifically for these improvements with no tax increase to any citizen. Citizens, again, for the 3rd year in a row, enjoyed a 0 mil increase. This was done to control annual expenditures on equipment so it doesn't end up costing the city more in the end or fluctuating budgets. Replacing equipment that in some cases had passed its useful life cycle is prudent so it is ready and reliable when needed. Some outdated vehicles were replaced in 2015, including a truck for the Parks Department and 2 outfitted police patrol cars. A backup generator was also installed in City Hall so that it can ensure that City Hall can continue to be open during power outage. We also installed bike racks at various locations throughout the city, and repairs were made to the Central Park pool to ensure a high level of safety for visitors. My final thought on the budget. If I could brag for just a second, Bel Aire received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association for the 2015 budget document. This is the 2nd year in a row that the city has received this prestigious award. It recognizes the ease of understanding, transparency, and communication in the budget document, which is what the City Council and I strive for. But enough about money. Talk right now about the Recreation Department. The Recreation Department oversees 3 departments: the Bel Aire Recreation, Central Park Swimming Pool, and the Bel Aire Seniors. The Recreation Department offers recreational programs and facilities including youth sports, martial arts, fitness, senior activities, dance day camps, facility rental, and a changing variety of other programs and activities. Over 3,000 youth and adults annually participate in these programs in our city. But what's not tracked is spectator attendance for games and events, which is estimated to be in the tens of thousands annually. Recreation Center drop-in activities include basketball, volleyball, game tables, walking and jogging, weights, and exercise equipment. Over 7,000 Recreation Center drop-in visits are recorded every year. Outdoor recreation facilities are used year-round by programs, residents, and by local schools. The Central Park swimming pool is open to the public through daily fees, memberships, or swimming lessons. And of course, all current members of the Central Park Homeowners Associations enjoy a family pool membership as part of their annual dues. Over 5,000 visits were recorded at the pool in 2015. Bel Aire Seniors offered programs and services for residents 55 and over. These offerings are designed to improve health and wellness, decrease isolation, and provide social, economic, and educational opportunities. The city receives a portion of funding from Sedgwick County that is used predominantly for salaries. The county contract outlines certain requirements and is negotiated annually. In 2015, there were 194 registered participants in Bel Aire Seniors, which well exceeded all of the county requirements. Those activities are held in several locations, including the Senior Center, Community Room, at the Recreation Center, as well as other local venues. I want to turn for a second to another fun topic. That's roads. There were two significant street improvement projects that occurred in 2015. 45th Street from Woodlawn to Rock received thermal crack repair. And Edgemore Drive, how many of you have gone down Edgemore Drive in the last few weeks? Okay, raise your hands, folks. It's okay. Several of you. You guys have noticed that from 41st Street to South Edgemore Court received what's called a full depth replacement with a slurry seal base and roller compacted concrete paving. I just think it looks nice, and it's a good road. Edgemore Drive from South Edgemore Court to 45th Street also received a 2-inch asphalt overlay. Last year, Public Works staff used 3 tons of cold patch asphalt to repair potholes and used 185 tons of hot mix asphalt for street patching and pothole repair. All dirt roads in Bel Aire were graded approximately 24 times, and 132 tons of rock and 141 tons of road gravel were used to maintain these roads. Staff swept 356 miles of streets, which yielded 220 tons of material and 24 cubic yards of leaves. Also, Public Works staff striped 58,000 feet of streets and cleaned out 400 feet of roadside ditches. That's a lot of work. The 45th Street reconstruction project that was completed in 2014 won a national award for the concrete pavement. That was from the American Concrete Paving Association. The Chapel Landing and Iron Gate subdivisions also won a regional award for concrete paving from the Kansas Ready Mix Concrete Association, and that's going to be presented next week. The only major street improvement plan for 2016 is a biggie: the reconstruction and widening of 37th Street from Woodlawn to Oliver. The city has partnered with the City of Wichita for these improvements, which will consist of widening 37th Street to 3 lanes. At this point, I'd like to just pause for a second. I want to recognize Wichita Mayor Jeff Longwell, someone who I've come to call friend very recently. And I want to thank you for being here. Mayor Longwell and I share a vision and a passion for what we call regional wins. What's good for Bel Aire, it's good for Wichita. What's good for Wichita is good for Bel Aire and even Park City and others. And we share that vision. I thank you for being here tonight. But I know he also wants to get home and watch this basketball game that's on tonight. So I'll continue here. But this project is currently scheduled to start in early summer. Thanks to our partnership with the City of Wichita and WAMPO, Bel Aire is only going to be responsible for 10% of these project costs. I think that's just amazing. In addition to this project, the Public Works Department will focus on repair and maintenance of Bel Aire streets. There's been a lot of talk recently in the news, I'm switching gears here, about water. And I have some good news to share on that front as well. The availability of safe and clean water is absolutely vital. Last year, both water towers were cleaned and inspected. This year, a new water line is scheduled to replace the existing water line along 37th Street during that construction. In 2015, CCUA conducted an energy audit that will produce roughly $2 million in energy cost savings over the next 20 years. As a result, those cost-saving dollars will be used to pay for the plant upgrades, meaning there is no increase in operational costs that will be charged to Bel Aire citizens. In addition, Bel Aire and Park City created a true-up agreement for water similar to what was done with sewer a couple of years ago. I am proud to serve on the CCA and appreciate the cooperation of our neighbors in Park City to reach this point. These agreements ensure the cost of plant operations are paid based on usage from each city. Speaking of sewer, I want to point out that last year Public Works cleaned out approximately 24,000 feet of sewer lines to ensure proper drainage and replaced a portion of sewer line as well. The sanitary sewer lift station near 37th Street also received maintenance, and the walls were sealed to prevent possible contamination. Another department in our city is our parks. This past year, the tree board and city staff worked together to complete a citywide tree mulching program. This program included mulching trees in 5 parks, where a total of 163 trees were mulched through this program. The tree board and city staff used approximately 91 cubic yards, or the equivalent of 182 bags of mulch, to complete this project. Park improvements planned for this year include a new drinking fountain in Bel Aire Park and new safety surfacing in the playgrounds. In addition, maintenance of parks and public grounds will continue as it has in the past. Last year, our staff mowed a total of 1,153 acres of parks and grounds and 428 miles of roadside ditches. So as you can tell, it's been an extremely busy and successful year. And there's several things I have not even talked about, including some of our committees, and there are other awards the city has received. I can tell you that our Community Development Advisory Committee is already working on plans for great events in 2016. The Mayor's Youth Council is going to begin this year. And we also introduced the Mayor's Community Care Certificate. And there is much great news to share on those fronts and much more. I encourage every citizen to become involved, to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, visit our website, read the breeze, or sign up for our newsletter. But I'm going to stop here. I told you it would be brief this year, because I'm excited to turn it over here in just a few minutes to our facilitator, Kyle Carr, who is going to begin the first phase of our Building for the Future. I want to thank each and every single one of you for being here tonight and invite you all to take a 5 to 10 minute break, enjoy some refreshments, visit, and hope you'll come back in here and be a part of our strategic planning. But thank you so much for being here tonight.